to Cooking at Nanoclage. Well, today we're going to be baking at Nanoclage. I'm going to show you how to make a black forest cake, just in time for the holidays. You can use a box cake, which is super simple, and really make an elegant dessert. Black forest cake is said to have originated in southern Germany in the Black Forest, where they grow a lot of cherries, sometime in the early 1900s. There's a couple of stories that will attribute it to a couple of different people, but let's just say it's German in origin. A black forest cake is relatively simple to put together. The frosting is actually whipped cream, which keeps it nice and light. The cherries that you want to use bordeaux cherries or morello cherries, a nice dark cherry, not the bright red maraschino cherries. As I said, we're going to use a box cake mix to make it super simple. And then the cake is going to get soaked with a liquid that is made typically out of something called kirschwasser, which is cherry liqueur, and a little bit of cherry juice. If you want to keep it non-alcoholic, we can just use 100% cherry juice. We're just going to soak that into the cake to give it lots of good flavor and bring that cherry flavor into the chocolate as well. So you can see there's really not a ton of ingredients. We're going to drain the cherries, save the juice, and then we're going to cook them on the stove and thicken them up with a little bit of lemon juice and cornstarch, just to create sort of a cherry, it's not as thick as a jam, but a cherry sauce, which we'll put in between the layers of cake. We'll bake the cake. We'll whip the cream with a little bit of powdered sugar, and then for some garnish, I've got some chocolate cookie crumbs. You can use shaved chocolate if you want. It's really up to you. I like doing this because it's easy, and it adds just a little bit of texture to the outside of the cake. Here's everything ready to go. I've baked the cakes. We got the cherries and the cornstarch and the lemon juice, so we'll put those on the stove and cook them and make the cherry sauce. I've got the cherry juice here. I'm going to use 100% cherry juice and keep this non-alcoholic. But in the recipe, I'll tell you how to make the alcoholic version if you want. We've got the whipped cream and the powdered sugar for that, the cookie crumbs, and I saved 8 little cherries for the top so we can garnish the cake. We've got our cakes, we've got our cherry sauce, ready to go, we've got our whipped cream, and we have our cherry juice. This is 100% cherry juice because we're doing a non-alcoholic version. But if you wanted to do it with the alcohol in it, it would be half cherry juice, half kirschwasser. We're going to just take a serrated knife, try to keep it as level as you can, and we're just going to cut this cake right in half. Just like that. So we'll leave that on the bottom. Brush some of the cherry juice in there so it gets nice and soaked, flavorful. You're aiming for about 1/3 of it. Even though there's 4 layers of cake, we're going to fill it 3 times and put the last one on top. So kind of judge your half cup there. Use about 1/3 of it. Soak that in there. Then we'll spoon some cherries on the top of that. Again, about 1/3 of it. Then we're going to put a little whipped cream on there. Fill in just like that. Doesn't have to be exact because we're going to press down. Now this is a really nice piece, so I'm actually going to swap. I'm going to put that one on there. And just give it a little push. I'm going to save this for the top. It's nice and smooth. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get to the top. And then I'm going to wash my hands. Now, we're going to put the whipped cream around the edge, just like we're frosting a cake. It's a mess, but it's gonna be delicious. Here's our Black Forest cake. You can see it kind of slouched a little on this side, and I think that's because I put just a little bit too much liquid on one of the layers on that side. It kind of drooped a little. But I just covered it up with some more crumbs and mushed it back together. It's not perfect, but I guarantee you it's delicious. Thanks for tuning in to Cooking at Nana Lodge. We'll catch you next week.